Hi guys, welcome back to another cinematic mic review. Today I'm doing Ridley Scott's The Last Duel. The Last Duel came out about like a month ago or two. It came out really soon on Blu-ray and DVD. I picked it up on Tuesday and I had the chance to watch it last night after work, and it was really entertaining. It's not as big time as I thought it was gonna be, but it is a decent good film. Always entertaining. It has like this tension, the suspense in it, which is really worth it, I think, to watch it and have it the outcome, what happens, like the whole story to the end. It's actually really great the way it was. So here are some things that I can say about The Last Duel. The opening is actually something that I really enjoyed, where these two guys are actually getting ready to go against each other. They're being their armor's being put on them, and the tension's just building up. And it's just this amazing shot of when they're jousting, I believe it's called. It's just as amazing with the camera work and everything, and it just cuts, and so that sets it up for like it to be like something that's to come soon. But we got to hear the whole backstory of what led up to this jousting, this whole fight, this man against this other one, what led up to this, which I think it was a great way to open the film that way. There are some battle sequences here that are really graphic. They're really well done, but they seem really short. They seem really, like, for me it felt like it was cut too short. But then as you watch the movie, I think you realize that this isn't the point of the film. It's not focusing on this being like a big time epic war in the medieval times about this war that happened against these people against this one. It has nothing to do with that. So I understood as I was going along. I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense. They're not going to focus on that. We just have to kind of tell that a little bit right there. But the scenes are actually great. The camera work, the cinematography is actually, it actually looks nice. I didn't get the name of the person that did the cinematography in this film, but it actually looked decent. I was following this thing for a while, The Last Duel, with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck writing, and I remember that they were gonna be the ones that were gonna play, I think, against each other. They were gonna play the main characters that Matt Damon and Adam Driver play. But I think as it was growing, Ben Affleck actually ended up taking on another role, and I was like, I wonder why he took it. I wonder if he found as he read the story, I wonder if he found that the other character much more interesting than the character that he was originally going to play. But I think I read an interview where he said that it was because, we that are fans of movies and all that, we know that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are like best buds. So he said that it would probably throw us off. But I was actually kind of looking forward to it, them being, because I think just knowing that they are friends and them going against each other in a film would have been amazing. I still would have watched it. But maybe, I don't know, maybe he was right. Maybe it would have thrown me off. Um, but yeah, I'm glad that Adam Driver came in and took over. The other thing that was kind of a bit bothersome was, is in this, like, it's a period piece, and it's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, who probably are like the most, like, I don't know, American people, American actors. So I didn't know how I was gonna see that, and then thinking about their accents, and I didn't pay attention much if they were doing the action right in the trailer. But it started getting to me when I put this on. I'm like, wait, this is Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I'm like, how are they gonna sound? I'm like, is it gonna be too goofy, or are they not gonna do it? I'm like, but how are they not gonna do it? Because this looks like it takes place on the other side. And so I heard them, and some the accents were all right. Sometimes they sound like them, like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, and sometimes they do seem like they're trying to throw in a slightly an accent. With Matt Damon, it was a bit of an issue because I think I heard him sound like Matt Damon at most of the time, and then there's a part where I don't know whose story it is or what scene it is, but it cuts to, and then it seems like in this scene he was actually really trying to do an accent in this scene. So it was like, okay, he didn't start off that way, and now he's doing an accent here, a hard accent on this one. But I let it go. I was like, all right, just focus on the story, focus on the character. Let it go. They sound like they sound, but the story just kept going. But yeah, that was a little bit bothersome, is the accents, and I guess we could all kind of know that that's something we're gonna get into when we're gonna see Matt Damon and Ben Affleck uh, play characters that are taking place in like some medieval era type of thing. I learned a lot as I was following this movie because and I said this in the video, I think, where I did the unboxing of this one, where I liked the trailer because it looked like we, the audience, the way they did the trailer, it seems like we were all gonna hear like the perspective of everyone somehow. Like it looked like who's telling the truth, who's lying. And I like to say it, it's like if we're in court and we're the jurors right there listening to this side of the story, that side of the story, and it plays with us to see, man, who's the one really telling the truth here. And it did that well. I totally forgot that that's what I wanted. Because what I'm gonna bring up is an editing issue, and not, it wasn't an editing issue. It was actually edit, but I thought it was an editing issue. The beginning of the film, I think it's John Caruso's story, Matt Damon's character, and there's a scene where it just like cuts to like there is a war or something, or I don't know, where they're finally celebrating, and then it cuts to him arriving at his house, and I'm like, wait, what the hell's going on here? I'm like, and I had to rewind it to see if it was if I missed something, I accidentally skipped it. But no, the story, it tells three stories, like each perspective, and some parts are cut off because the other person's story fills that little gap in. And so that was an amazing thing that they did. They did that well with the editing on telling the three stories, having to listen to three different stories and to fill in the gaps of the other ones a little bit. So yeah, but each story is different, so it won't exactly go along with each one. I did find the story interesting about the characters of Matt Damon and Adam Driver, the characters of John Carouge and Jacques Legree. I thought it was gonna be more because it seems like they become friends really quick, just because I think Legree actually saves him in the beginning, and one of yeah, the beginning, and so it just seemed really fast. But I thought it was really gonna focus on their friendship being built up and then something happening. But it's okay the way it came out. Matt, but each one, what I like about the story is each one's version is a little bit different, and one version is big time different from the other ones. And in the first one, I felt bad for Matt Damon's character because it seems like he wasn't getting the appreciation that he deserved, taking care of the wars and all that, and Ben Affleck's character not appreciating it and always kind of treating him bad and giving everything to Adam Driver's character. So I really felt for him in that one, and I really felt for Matt Damon in that one as John Carouge. And then the second one, which is Adam Driver's character, Jacques Legree, it was kind of odd for me. I was a bit off on this one because the way the story plays out in his this the story is about, which you guys already know, is that Matt Damon is accusing Adam Driver's character of having to rape his wife, and so each one is telling their version of the story. And Adam Driver's story actually, when it plays out, I thought it was gonna make it look like more like he was gonna look like a hero, like innocent. I mean, not a hero, like more innocent. And as I saw it, I saw it. I'm like, yeah, I thought about it. I'm like, wait, is this Marguerite? I think her name's Marguerite, Lady Marguerite's story. And I had to look it up really quick on Wikipedia. I didn't spoil it, but I'm like, am I on the right one? Because I didn't want to back. And I'm like, no, yeah, it's what it said. It's his story. But when I saw it, I was like, man, is this the way it looks? It looks like he's not really defending himself. It looks like he's actually guilty of this crime. The way it plays out, and I found out later because I had to figure this out a bit because I was a bit confused. And then yeah, it figures out how one person might view that they are innocent without realizing that yeah, they're definitely not innocent at all, thinking that what they did was justified, like, I hope I'm saying that right, but I'm just telling you about the confusion that I had with it. But I read about like the whole thing where it has to do with these men thinking that they're doing something that in reality it's not right. They're not innocent of it. This is actually something that's wrong. So I had to figure that out. At first, I was all confused. I was like, "Wouldn't this guy be defending himself?" And but the way it plays out, I'm like, "Damn, this guy is like really like just throwing it out there." Like the way it plays out, it's like I was a bit upset right there. I was like, "Damn." But I think Adam Driver does great. Matt Damon does great too. Adam Driver actually does. I haven't seen him play like a. He seems kind of really douchey here, like a villain right here. And I'm not sure if I. Well, yeah, Star Wars, but that was a different kind of type of villain. Right here, that was more angry villain. Right here's a villain kind of right there where you just kind of like hate this guy a bit, and you're just like, damn, this guy's really cruel, And I think he does a great performance in it. Him and Matt Damon are great in it. Ben Affleck's character also, I didn't think he was gonna be the way he was when I saw the trailer. I don't think they ever played it out like that. But when you get to watch the film, he's actually this kind of a wild person that's out there, and he's best friends with Legree, with Adam Driver's character. He's just over there messing around with women, having Adam Driver join in and all that. Just like best friends, and they just really he treats John Carouge, Matt Damon's character, really bad. Throughout the film, it's like he just has this hatred towards him. The one whose story was really great, it was just a bit shocking, is the third one, which is Lady Marguerite, Jodie Comer's, where her thing totally switches. As you can, I'm gonna tell you, you heard me say in the beginning, I said that I felt bad for Matt Damon's character John Carouge, but then when this scene, when we appear here, I'm like, you see a whole totally different John Carouge that you didn't see in the his story. Right here, it's just like, man, he really gonna do that after what happened? Like, um, there's the doubt, and he gets really physical when it's the well, not really the doubt, but he really wants to know the truth, and he gets really more physical than I think his version or the second version, where he kind of just raises his voice, but right here it gets more like personal and physical a bit. And I'm like, damn. And then even after the whole situation happens, and she tells John Carouge about what happened, this guy just basically tells her, "No, let's go to bed because I'm not gonna let this guy be the last one to have you." Which is like, oh man, are you serious? I mean, come on, like, did you not just hear what she went through? Like, come on, just let her be for a while and don't do that. But no, it's just like, it's kind of a thing that I liked about the film too, is like, I think it has a lot to do with manhood and all that. Even like not the woman not being satisfied by this man and how it affects him, and it kind of angers him. The same thing when he just what I said of what he says, I'm not gonna let him be the last one to have you. I'm gonna be the last one, not him. So I think it has a lot to do with even when something about her saying that Legree was handsome, where she thought he was handsome and all that. I think it has a lot to do with all this masculinity type of deal thing. So I like that whole thing about it right there. I think really Scott's direction is great. I think the cinematography is fine. I think the writing was good. The writing was good, but there are moments where I felt like the writing seemed like, I don't know. It seemed, I don't know if I want to say. I feel like someone that probably has. Uh, I don't know how to say it, but um it seems like something that I would probably write, but not because it seems like I don't know anyone personally that well that probably has had this situation happen. But I think people who actually have had this happen, or really had someone next to them happen, would have been a better writer to. I'm not saying the writing's bad at all. It's decent. It's good. But it just seemed at points where it seems like these people probably just investigated on the internet to get the knowledge, something that I would probably do to just get informed on how does this go, and then someone just trying to fit these things in there to say like, oh yeah, this is what I read, so this is probably what happens during this time. There are little moments like that where I felt like it was, I guess what I'm trying to say, it felt like a little bit amateur writing to a story like this still, I guess. So, but it was fine. It's just not like big time bad at all. But yeah, I think that was the issue with the a little bit with the writing issue. I'm not sure if it had to do also because of the man. I think Ben Affleck and Matt Damon took care of it, and it was just by their perspective right there a little bit. Probably maybe it had to do a little bit with that. And the woman screenwriter, I forgot her name, Singer, something like that, Hollifinster. I'm pretty sure she probably did the Marguerite story, which was great. But I did like the editing, the everything, how they tell the story and everything, and just really Scott opening it up with that epic opening right there, like, and then the scene with the camera, it was amazing, and all this just builds up to the freaking to the last battle sequence right there. And right there, I still feel a little bit bad for Marguerite still, even though, like, she was trying to get justice, but they were looking for justice in this kind of way of like, oh, let me kill you because you did this to my wife, and I have to prove that I'm the man here, and it was a bit messed up way. It still kind of left a. It was an amazing film, but it still leaves like a little bit sadness for Marguerite. I think a little bit heartbreaking there, but it was an amazing story to play out. I really enjoyed it. I do think that these movies like this are great, but like something like a story like, because I never saw a story like this where we could be a little bit, but not like in the medieval times. Like, it's just crazy to like have to go back in time and have a situation like this that happens now, even still, that's been going on for a while, but still like just taking place here, and how it all went through there, and us being like the person listening to this story, that story, and all that, and then just the outcome of it. It's pretty cool, and I think that's kind of like something original. And as I said, I think Chris Stuckman was talking about this. I think he became a big fan of this, which I really like that he's actually speaking up on it. I had saw his review of this after I saw the movie. I knew he had a review on it, so I saw it after the movie, and he actually talks about a lot how Hollywood has changed, and they don't. He's surprised that they actually got money for this, which was surprising. And as I said in my other video, I said that what do you call it, that when I saw the trailer to this movie, I said it in my head. I was like, fuck, finally a fucking movie. It's been so long. We're dealing with all these franchises and all that, and me who's talking because I'm about to go watch a Spider-Man. But I would rather have a lot more of these original movies than all the things that we have. This was a refresher for us who are like film fans. These are movies that I think our parents took us to that we would watch. And the sad thing that I heard in his video was that he talked about how he writes scripts and how they're probably scripts that probably studios wouldn't even take now, which is sad because I had the same feeling too. I write things and it seems like it's not something that if I would try to sell to someone, it's not something that I would freaking I'm not near close like Mr. Stuckman is a bit. I'm just saying like the ideas that I have, it seems like it would be something that probably studios wouldn't even want to pay attention to anymore because they're from back then, years ago. Right now, they just want all this other wild stuff that just, I don't know. It's all different now, and it's sad. It's actually really sad. It makes me disappointed because even like throughout, like with people that are close to me, they prefer those other things than the things that I do. Like one friend, he always talks about how, oh, you people from cinema just want these films that have to be pretentious and all that stuff. And I laugh because me and him banter a lot over this, and sometimes I just tease him a lot. I just get on his nerves, and he tries to get on mine too. But yeah, but you can see, yeah. But I like this film. I like the Last Duel. The score was good too. It was a decent score. It wasn't big time as I thought it would be. I was actually looking forward to the music score, but it wasn't big time. But the score was decent enough. And I think it was a good film, a refresher. The one that I'm really looking forward to this year is actually The Tragedy of Macbeth, which comes out next week, I think, on Christmas. And I can't wait to see that. And I do recommend The Last Duel if you have not seen. Oh yeah, the whole thing. It seemed like I looked it up, and yeah, a lot of people are connecting it. I'm not sure if this went with the non-linear type of films, but I don't think so. But they talked about how it went with the Rashomon effect, which Rashomon's another great film, the classic one. Um, the whole thing about telling different sides of the story, different segments, points of view, and all that. So it was amazing how they did that and how it played out. Just as I said, the outcome. It's worth. It's all the build up to the battle between them. I think it's really worth it. How it just builds all leads up to that battle, and the battle sequence is amazing too. But just the whole overall story, how it plays out, and all that. It's great. So I enjoyed it. I do recommend The Last Duel if you have not watched it. And if you enjoyed my video, please hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.